Okay, trying to do something about a couple of thoughts today about the process. Yes, about the process about when you're creating music and you put moral concepts about when you're creating music. There's two different kinds of creating music. I had a great lesson from some sort of a rabbi in Israel about explanations about what is the process of creating music in the Jewish tradition about creating music from the creative side, the creativity of a person, or creating music from the inner moral perspective about you feel morally obligated to write your music. So it is something very interesting, and I do think that it's a subject that we do not hear about it in the internet. And I was just trying, and I'm trying to focus a little bit about as a beginner music producer. I decided I want to become full time with my life about producing music in my music and helping others to create their own music. I was just focusing about what is the process about when you feel you want to write something, when you want to create a piece of music. So try to focus this subject about first of all writing from writing from your own creative side, from your spirituality, your soul, your emotions when you feel it and then you want to create it. And the second part I will explain about when you're writing music from your moral point of view. You feel it's obligated, you're obligated from a moral perspective to write the music to get it out. So if you are not doing what you need to do in the process of creating music or do whatever you want to do, I'm just focusing on music. So it's like you're betraying yourself from your moral point of view. Okay, so first let us talk about what is creativity for the subject one. Okay, let's start. And by the way, this is my first time that I'm trying to focus about helping while I help myself. I think it's a very suitable thing to help other people to enjoy it. And it's a community music. It's a language. And I do think that to become a producer, I think it's some sort of a deep feeling when you want to do something, and you're trying 100% sometimes to avoid it, not to become a producer, but life brings you to become like that. So let's talk about the first thing. Okay, writing music from your creative side, it means that you have emotions. You have think about it as your soul feels, and from a romantic point of view, or have emotions, and you want to get them out, and you feel like a small sound or a theme or something like that in yourself. It's a humming, a theme or a melody. You feel there is some sort of an emotion and you want to create it. And while you're creating it, you're only focusing about the emotion that it brings you. Okay? So if you think very carefully about it, you will see that creating music from a self-recognition from your own spirituality, your own emotions, your own soul, from your soul and for your mental point of view, from the way your heart feels. So let's say you're a romantic person or a gothic person that you like music from, scene of metal, from trash, or do you like jazz? So there's a lot of things a person is drawn to the music. Okay, and we must focus about that. It's everything surrounds it as the producer. So the concept of this conversation is about when a producer he becomes to be a music producer and he does it from his moral. He feels that he must become like that because he knows he can help others to make their goals succeed. So think about it. If someone wants to create music, and this music comes from this spirituality, and this music comes from from his own theme in his mind. He has emotions, he has things like that, and then he feels he wants to do it. He feels he wants to create something, okay, but he does not see it as some sort of a depthness inside himself. So he feels if he will not create music, he's betraying you in kind. Yes, and I'm doing it in a very large view of the construct about the thing. Okay, so if you're writing music and you feel that you're obligated to write it because if not, you're betraying society. Yes, yeah, I'm taking it as it's a big word. So, but I'm really focusing about when you want to create music and to become not just a musician or producer, okay, for your self music, for your music, for other music. You need to understand if you do it from, oh, I just like music. I like music. I like music. It makes me feel great. It makes me feel. It makes me feel happy, and all those emotions. But sometimes you can create music, and not just because you're happy. You can create music because you feel you're obligated from your own moral perspectives. That you feel that you're betraying the society, betraying the community of the musicians, and you're betraying the listener. Because think about it: when you're writing something, it comes from your bottom of your soul, and from not just the emotions that you experience, but you feel from your soul, from your spirituality, for your being itself, that you feel that you do it. And when you do it, you feel like it's an obligation. You feel like you are obligated to write the music because there are listeners that will tear and cry because of your music. So think about it. Let's say a person, I will give you an example, okay? There was I'm working on a song right now, okay? I will advertise the song in the future, but I'm working on a song, and this song is very deep. When I'm saying deep, not because of the harmonic structures or the theoretical point of view. No, the song is very sad, a very sad, deep, and emotional, romantic, a little bit of a decadence, a little bit very. It's a ballad, okay. So I did a test. There was a melody in my mind, and then I started to record it, and like 70% of the song is ready. So I did a test. I sent this song to a couple of people, and you know what happened? Something very amazing. Something very amazing happened. And what happened that I got some couple of phone calls, and the phone calls were like that. Guy, are you okay? Of course I'm okay. We're just writing music. What do you think about? And the emotions that people felt about the piece itself, they felt like I'm sad that I'm gonna fucking kill myself. They were thinking about emotions that the sound, the harmonic structure, the emotions brought them to feel like something is bad happening with me. So think about it very closely now. Think about it very closely. And by the way, I was very happy when I sat down to write it. I was feeling great, and I absolutely do not feel any way in any meaning sad or depressed, all those things. God forbid. So now think about it. Think about if I would write that piece. And by the way, this piece was from a moral perspective. I felt I was obligated to write because I had a melody in my mind. And I felt if I'm not going to do it, I'm betraying the community of the listeners, not just the musicians. Okay, think about you betraying the community of those crying eyes that they're sitting and waiting for the new song, the new part, something to bring them like a catharsis, to clean themselves, to exonerate themselves with their tears and emotions. Because why? Because they're connecting to themselves by the music. It brings them to a place in themselves to recognize, okay, to experience. So I can say the melody was, first of all, like in a glance, which felt into the mind. And then it was 3 weeks, 1 month. Yeah, I think it was 3 weeks, something like that. And then I felt, listen, guy, if you're not gonna do it, maybe you're betraying. Excuse me. Maybe you're betraying your community of the listeners because they want to feel something. So that was my main objective when I came to write the piece. Okay, and um, and by the way, this is philosophical talk about that. Okay, when I'm going to advertise the song, everybody will hear it. But the focus is not about the song yet. The focus is about the philosophy and the mind thinking, the process of the emotions with your deep understanding about. Maybe it's the opposite of betraying your listeners, the people that love the music. Okay, you need to understand when you're creating music from deep understanding from moral perspective from yourself that you feel that you're obligated. Like I said in the beginning, in the Jewish tradition, writing music comes from a moral obligation that you feel. So this is art in Judaism. So in Judaism, to write music, that it comes from a moral obligation that you feel you are obligated to do it. If not, you're betraying your God, something like that. So this brings out humility and all those verses about when you're writing something that it's truly, truly the closest to your soul that you look upon your soul, and then you bring the music outside so then the listener enjoys the music because he feels the authenticity about it. Okay, so what I was trying to say of on the other subject. So writing music, if you write it from a moral obligation, it brings the best in you, but not just the best in a good way that someone can tell you, oh, listen, this is a great piece. No, it brings your emotion out there. And then the listener can enjoy it, and it can connect. And it doesn't, it's nothing to do about the level of complexity, nothing to do about that. You can listen to Bob Dylan's song, Sarah, Sarah, you can feel and cry like a baby. You can listen to Duran Duran, Come On Down, and you can absolutely cry. So there's Alphaville, even Metallica, there's every band, every piece, or Mike Oldfield, or there's a lot of things you can cry like a baby because you feel the authenticity stays for eternity. And this eternity is exactly like the soul that is for eternity. Okay, so you need to understand when you're writing music, sit down and feel. Are you writing from your creative side, or you're writing because you feel you are morally obligated to bring the music out? Because if not, why creating? Think about it. So that was the talk of the day about writing music from inner self, from a feeling that you're obligated in a moral thinking. It is not moral to write music from non-moral perceptions while creating. It's kind of interesting. It's interesting. So I was bringing my thoughts a little. If you have any comments about that, feel free. Feel free to type your comments down there. Subscribe, and my channel right now, almost another one person is going to have 120 people. So you remember I told you I'm going to make my channel, I'm going to grow it more and more, and I'm going to bring myself on the palette with a humbleness and just to show, like everybody's trying to say me, myself, and I, but here we're focusing about when you are coming to this channel, we're focusing on striving to bring you more to understand yourself about this music. So I'm becoming slowly and slowly a music producer. And I'm kind of shocked, mesmerized even, because I was not, I didn't think it's going to happen. So it slowly, 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 and becomes to get a shape. There's a lot of responsibility about when you want to become producer. There's emotions of people. So there's a side of the computer engineering. And by the way, I bought the update for Cubase 11. It's amazing. So I'm kind of enjoying it right now, the upgrade. And so to wrap it all up, when you create music, think about it. It comes from your emotions, or if it comes from a deep inner moral obligation that if you will not write the music, you're betraying your listeners. Think about it. You have comments, write it down, subscribe, thumbs up. May God bless you.